What's up, bud? Appreciate you. Nibbler. Get my music a little bit loud for you guys. Turn it down. Here we go. Looking good. Thanks, man. Yeah, I actually just got back from playing simulator golf. Played like shit. But, you know, while I was gone, Bitcoin dropped like $2,000. So figure we can talk about it. Going into the weekend. I only stream once this week. Tesla, what's up, buddy? So I figured I could get another one. Just talk macro. Short stream. What I'm looking for this weekend, because it's pretty clear what like the line of demarcation is. So, you know. Figure we can talk about it. How you guys doing? How you feeling? We going to zero? Twitter would have you believe we're going to zero. Twitter would have you believe we're going to zero. Picked some Juno. Good man. Not going anywhere. Juno's not going anywhere. How you guys feeling about Bitcoin and the macro markets at large? You got to tell me that. And also, let me know if my sound levels are off, because I messed with them a little bit. So if the music's too loud or not loud enough, let me know. Sounds good? All right, sweet. Yeah, Juno, obviously, dips are good. Ace, what's up? Bro, what's up, man? You know, trying to navigate our ways through this bullshit. Look how unbelievably clear this top is on Bitcoin. So yeah, I didn't stream a ton. I think I only streamed once this week. I don't really remember. This shit all runs together. So I figured I'd stream again really quick just to have a little conversation, have some fun. Tell you guys what I'm looking for this weekend, because I think it could be a crazy one. I think it could be a crazy one. So yes, bolts. To be honest, seems like Bitcoin is just in a range, a biggish one. Yeah, I mean, there's no small. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Nibbler, traditional markets are probably feeling the pain from EU now. Yeah, and it's not going to stop. That's the thing. Macro, I have no idea. New financial reset, short term, not worried, higher, low, baby. Yeah, so T, you're onto something here, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment, because I have like a plan between now and May that I think is like pretty sound. So I'm gonna give you guys my plan for what happens between now and May. I'm gonna wait a second. There's usually about like a 5-7 minute bleed from when I start and when we hit max viewers. And I really hate repeating myself. Tesla, sweep Monday's low, reclaim, go back up. Yeah, that's good. I like that idea too. Good morning, good morning. Shit, Corey, is it morning where you are? It's fucking 4 o'clock where I am, man. But this is unbelievably clear. So I'll leave this on the screen as we're talking about it. In fact, you could even do this. You could even do this. Look how tight that is. Look how fucking tight that is. So the blue lines over here is what that box is. So that if you click on the box, if you guys don't know this, if you click on the box on TradingView, it shows you the top and the bottom side of the box. okay, on the side here. So that's what this 43,909 to 4444 essentially is what it is. Like, that's pretty clear. That's pretty clear. Einstein, what's up, buddy? So snowy. What does that mean? You doing coke? That means. Kitchen emote. Oh, okay. Word. I look at you guys on Restream, so I don't see like what's happening on Twitch. If there's something going on there, I don't see it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna get it. Hutaba 3-star. Hutaba 3-star, is that it? Hutaba? Good. All right, Hutaba 3-star. Took me like 3 attempts, but Friday, I was just playing some indoor golf. I was drinking. You know, life's good except for price action. That kind of sucks balls. Sup, Jared? These dated monkeys? The hell's happening with the market, brother? Can't rap. That's why I'm doing this. Literally, like, I don't really look forward to Friday afternoon streams, really. But I haven't streamed. Some shit changed since I last did. I want to talk about it. So yeah, I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes, then I'm going to hop into it. Let me tell. All right, so we got EU's about to crash. We're fucked. We got, I'm not worried about it short term, like immediately short term. What are you guys thinking? Like, let me see in the chat. I want to see what the prevailing idea is, right? Yeah, no, I enjoy this shit, man. I think it's going to be good. We just jumped to like 30 some viewers, so I don't know who that is, but welcome in. I'm going to give it 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It's 3:52 my time right now. At 3:54, we're going to go. But tell me, what are you thinking? Are you scared? You think we get a straight stop run down to like this area? Like really test this low again? 36, 35? What do you think? I need to figure out how to do live polls. I need to figure out how we do live polls. Range. Carolina says hope not. I know you guys like just get on with it. I'm just waiting for people to come in. So we got 1 more minute. Minute and a half. Cryptopocalypse. T says no way to sweeping the low. Okay, I hope you're right. Because T, I don't disagree with you. We got a short-term range right now that's looking pretty good. Short-term range looking pretty good. So today we had the non-farm payrolls. Those exceeded. The unemployment rate was lower than they thought. And what do we got next week? Next week, Thursday. Okay, I want you guys to remember this as you're looking at price action. JP, that guy, welcome in. Good to see you, bud. Next week, Thursday, year-over-year inflation. Okay, so March 10th, write it down. March 10th, year-over-year inflation. And core inflation. So there's going to be 2 big events released at the same time. Thursday, 10th. All right. There's hopium up China on the 4-hour. Yeah, I'm going to get to the low time frame. All right, so I have this on the line chart on purpose because if you look at this, guys, we're going to get into it right now. Chop weekend, Monday, Thursday. So I hope you're right. I think you're right, and we're going to go talk about it right now. But there's one variable you might not be considering, and I'm going to get into that here right now. Okay. If you don't hear me, be like, and the one thing was, remind me, but I should, because I have it on my notes. I have the line chart up because, by the way, I've been talking about Juno a lot lately, and so you guys probably like forget that I am a TA guy. I've been doing this for 12 years. So the reason why I got into crypto initially was because TA is easier in crypto. There's less manipulative bullshit. Okay. But the problem is you have such weird liquidity wicks that it makes it kind of hard to chart. So here is alpha tip number 1 when you're looking at high time frames. If you look at this, you go, this is pretty sloppy. You got 44, you got this wick up to 46, you got way down, way back up. Line chart, okay? Easiest way to do it to establish a range, because look, you go, like if you look at these lines, you go, this is pretty unclear. You know, is that area, where that was it a failed breakout? You know, we got to close above it and then a rip down below. Not unclear at all. Look at this range top. If you click on a box when you draw it in TradingView, it will tell you both sides over here. So we got 43.9 and 44.4. It's a $500 top. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts into it within $500. Okay, within $500, we got 4 attempts at taking it out and we fucking failed. All right, 4. There will not be a 5th. Okay, if we get up there again, I fully expect us to break through. Fully expect us to break through. But we gotta do that. What's this glare in my fucking glasses? There we go. Better. Sorry. Okay. If there's a 5th, I expect we'll break through, but it's a little bit of alpha. If you're looking at, I can't quite establish the range, this is the range. If you're looking to take trades on the low side of the range, this is your take profit. It's been proven 4 times. Now, I did just say I don't expect it to happen a 5th time, which I don't. However, I would still take profits there, or take most of my profits, like maybe sell 80% if I'm looking to long down here. So let's pull back out and take a look at what's going on. You guys know that whenever you get a turn in price, okay? Whenever you get a turn in price, there's always a history of it. Like the chart remembers that. This is where price action scalpers make their money, because there's always history when price turns. And so this is something that most people screw up. Like you guys screw up taking profits, you guys screw up triggers, and you screw up knowing like, do I take the profit or not, right? Like that's what amateurs screw up. I'm not calling you guys amateurs, you just know what I'm saying. Like when you're doing this as long as I have, you can call people amateurs too. But essentially there's always price remembers, because believe it or not, it takes a lot to turn. It takes a ton to turn price, no matter where these are. Did I just run out of my fucking sound? What's going on here? I don't like being no music. We're starting back to the top of the playlist, okay? So you have remembering here, and this is like a mini one. So you have 1, 2, 3 key points, 1, 2, 3, 4 key points. And so you can kind of gauge where these areas are. You got a $500 range to the top side, and I do like this trending upward right here. But this pocket's being respected right now, where we already stopped, okay? So the question is, do you think this area holds? Let's go back to a lower time frame. Is there a pocket? There is. And that pocket lines up probably with the uptrend. Yeah, right in here. Okay, so I like that area quite a bit. If I were looking to get long this weekend, on the bottom side, this is where I would do it. If you see some fuckery around here where you get like some, some of this, and you get that sort of a recapture, maybe even a dip down a little bit lower, like this is a great long, because your invalidation is pretty easy to determine, okay? The reason why so many people who actually try to who actively try to trade this shit fail is you take mid-range longs without invalidation. Because here's the thing, guys, we break down 37, we're going to 34. We break down 37, we're going to 34, and quite frankly, I'm not sure it stops there. So it's worth a punt in this area. That's not saying it's gonna fucking work. That's saying that if you're going to take a long, it's a pretty clear invalidation back to the highs, okay? Back to the highs. That's a 5-to-1 R. If you can trade 5-to-1 R setups, you have to be right less than 20% of the time. Actually, it's like 18% of the time to be profitable. Okay, so that's the area that you look at. Not to mention, somebody just alluded to it. We're gonna go down to lower time frames here. Like, we have not really screwed this up yet. We got a little bit of a higher high. We got a higher low. We got an equal high. Okay, this was not a higher high. This was essentially just one big higher high right here, which is indicative of a range, right? So if you're looking to get long, it's this area. But again, this is where people that don't trade very often fuck up. And again, I'm not trying to call you guys like noobs or rookies, but what a lot of people mistakenly do is go, okay, Jared said this area looks good, therefore if it gets to that area, that's a long. And that's not true either. You got to have a trigger, guys. It's area that makes sense plus trigger. Someone tell me what's an example of a trigger. Somebody tell me what's an example of a trigger. Come on, there's like 65 of you in here. What's an example of a trigger? Easy one that people talk about a lot of times is like a range reclaim. Yes, there you go. So Tesla said it. Tesla said it. Fuck you, Hodl. That's funny. But yeah, so essentially the easiest one that people usually think about is like, okay, this was our level. You get some wick down, and then when it reclaims, you can take that, right? You can take that. Crossing or a bounce on an EMA is a weaker trigger, but it could be used as a trigger, right? But like a range reclaim is a good one that people use. Kaz loves the range reclaim trigger. Kaz loves the range reclaim trigger. What's my favorite trigger? If you've been watching me for a while, you should know what my favorite trigger is. Because it's right fucking here. This is why we got long before. Yeah, the divergence, right? The divergence long is my favorite long because it's easy. It's easy to see, it's easy to trade, it's easy to invalidate, and the fucker has helped me call the tops and bottoms three times since Bitcoin broke out from 20K. All right. So I like divergences. They're slower. You don't hit the tops, you don't hit the bottoms, but they're rarely invalidated. Okay. So, and by the way, a MACD divergence is really just a double bottom, right? So essentially the trigger there could be here. It'd be like this bar on the 4 hour, right? That was the trigger. So you'd be long here, and we never gave that back up. Stops under low. And so like that was a great long. So there's a bunch of ways you can do it. But if what I just said to you didn't make sense from like okay, it's not just about the setup, it's about the trigger, you're probably not that profitable. And if you are, you're lucky, right? Yes. Okay. By the way, I haven't talked about my indicator in a long time. This is my indicator. People go, what is that? I can't find that on TradingView. Well, yeah, that's because it's mine and it's protected. Okay. If you want my indicator, you got to join my Telegram room. Sorry. It's the cost of doing business. You want my indicator? That's the link. Join the Telegram room. You ping me and you're in. Yeah, I know you're in Tesla, but I'm just saying for other people who don't know. Yeah, ping me whenever you want, and I'll give you access. And you go, well, what's so special about your indicator? Nothing. Nothing. What's special about it is it's conditionally formatted, so there's no questions about whether or not momentum has changed, okay? I'm going to open up the Discord next week for people to join, for anybody to join. Right now, it's just been Twitch subs. But what's easy about this is I'm going to put in like a video on how to use this thing. Blue is increasing momentum. It's positive momentum. Pink is decreasing momentum. Look where this would have told you to sell. If you were following this specifically, it would have literally sold you on effectively the top, 4444. Red, if you zoom in here, red is the shift from positive to negative. So essentially that's where that crosses over to decreasing momentum, not negative, but essentially your momentum is decreasing at that point. White is a shift from decreasing to increasing momentum. And then this is the zero line. So essentially anything under is tough. Anything above is, a little bit easier, right? So if you want my indicator, join the Telegram room. It's literally the only rule that I have to use this. And by the way, I set expiration into the future at some point, and if you lose it and you ask for it back and you're not in the Telegram room, it doesn't get renewed. That's how that shit works. But anyway, test is good, Salvia. Test is good. So we have this is what T was referring to a little bit ago, right? This is what T was referring to a little bit ago. You have this little bit of a trend, okay? A little bit of a trend. Lower low, higher high. We would love for this right here to hold, because it would confirm a higher low. I don't like that I'm using red. I'll switch to a different color here in a moment. But the most productive thing that we could have happen is for this area to hold. I would actually even take it down to this 38 area, 38.3. Not worried. Below here, we're fucked. You go, well, yeah, that's a $1,200 range. Like, yeah, it is. Okay, that sucks. It's $1,200 of uncertainty. I do have a Discord, but it's not open unless you're a Twitch sub. If you're a Twitch sub, you can get in now. If you're a Twitch sub, ping me on Twitter. I'm sorry, on Twitter and Telegram, and I'll send you the invite link. If you sub to the Twitch, you can get in. There will always be extra shit for Twitch subs. That goes into perpetuity. However, see, there you go. Nibbler's in. If you're a Twitch sub, you can get in now. If you're general public, you'll be able to get in next week. I do have a Telegram room as well. Which, by the way, just warms my heart. Pretty much the entire Juno team, if you know me from Juno, is in the Telegram room. All of them. Blocks, Wolf, Tosh, Camel, Max. Jack isn't, he's core 1, but we'll get him eventually. Awesome. Yeah, dude. Then for sure, hit me up. I'll let you in. So we want this to stay. I'm even good with it coming down here. If we lose 37.1, we're going to test the lows bigly, 34. Okay. So if you're thinking about trading this weekend, which for the record, I am not. Okay. I'm not. I might, if I find a beautiful SFP, because by the way, SFP also a potential long. Yeah, the Telegram room is alpha as fuck, dude. There's so much beautiful stuff that is dropped in the Telegram room just like casually that ends up being a banger. People don't even understand. But, you know. Like I posted in my last YouTube video where it was like, join the Telegram group. Or don't. Some people like to have less. Like that's no joke. And it's not because of me. Okay? It's because the people who join. So join, don't join, whatever. You have this area we like on a trigger. If not, we're going to take out the lows. And quite frankly, if we lose that 37 area, what's up, Potato? If we lose that 37 area, I think it's more likely that we're going to 30 than anything else. Okay. If we lose 37, I don't think we stop. Could be wrong, but this is a pretty thin, like not a great line here. Don't love it. I think you could see some major wicks all the way down. Could be 30, could be 28. All right. And the reason why, like, look, we have this productive action. Like, if we go back to last week when I was last speaking about this, it was relatively positive, and it is relatively positive. So, like, don't get me wrong. Breaking the trend, establishing a higher low, kind of doing a higher high, all good things, right? Like, these are the things that we need to see. And what I was saying earlier, like, don't let me get through this without saying, like, the one thing. The one thing is you have to understand how emotional crypto markets are and how vulnerable they are to news, to scary shit. Okay? Because really, like, if we're being honest, I need like another fucking chart. I'll pull up another one. Who are we gonna use? Sure. God, I fucking hate Femex, whatever it is. If we're being honest. Okay. If we're being honest, that's a bear flag. If we're being honest, it's a bear flag. Right? I mean, that's atrociously drawn. So let me do this again, but like, oh, fuck you. You guys probably love watching me struggle just to draw basic concepts, but here's what it is. Okay. And then probably the next best way to do it, make my flagpole. Cool. Okay. That's a bear flag. So the reason why I say you got to be careful if we lose this level, because this was like an attempt and it would be a failure. And I would, 30. 30, 31. And when there's this much emotion, when there's this much fucking news, what's the right way to say this? When we're this susceptible to news, you gotta fucking head on a swivel, guys. Head on a swivel. Because there was a fire in an office building near a nuclear power plant and we dropped 10%, okay? It was near a power plant and we dropped 10%. All right? So we have some shit next week. If you were here during the warm-up when I was waiting for the, I don't know, we have like 70, 80 people in here now to join. There's a couple of big news events next year. There's a couple of big news events next week, the 10th. Year-over-year inflation, okay? So what happens? What happens if we have crazy-ass inflation numbers, which, by the way, we're going to? I don't think there's a possibility that we don't have fucking some crazy-ass inflation numbers on Thursday. Again, Thursday the 10th, literally 6 days from now, our year-over-year inflation, I don't even know how it's not going to be fucking worse than whatever the projections are. Not 10, but it could be 9. Let me see. Right now, dude, okay. You guys don't know this. Well, you guys don't see this on screen. I'm not going to pull it on because it's going to flashbang all of you. The consensus estimates for year-over-year inflation is 8%. That's what they are hoping for on Thursday, March 10th, is year-over-year inflation of 8%. 7.9. I'm rounding up for effect, okay? 7.9%, 8%. That's what would be good. That's what is already priced in to this chart is 8%. So let's talk about what happens. What if it's 10? What if it's 11? What if it's 10? What if it's 11? Yeah, boy, what's up? If it's 10, if it's 11, if it's 10 and a half, if it's 9 and a half, if it's anything more than 8, then you are going to get essentially a rate hike a month. Every time the Fed meets, they're going to raise it 25 basis points, 0.25%. They're going to raise it 0.25% every month. And if it keeps accelerating after 1 or 2, they're going to go to 50 basis points. And they're going to continue doing that. All right. What happens if you're raising it 25 basis points or 50 basis points a month? What does that do to our economy? Anybody? Who remembers? Who remembers? Broken everything. It is economically catastrophic. It is economically catastrophic. It is economically catastrophic. There is no way that you do not, stagflation. Okay. Oh shit, I think I just paused my music. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, recession. Because the recession comes from, so if we lose this level, it's like lights out. Pretty much, dude. I mean, you have a daily bear flag going back to November. Yeah, it's recession. It's possibly depression. And because like, here's the thing, guys. So I listen to Ben Shapiro. I like Ben Shapiro. Don't turn me off because you hate him. All right. Like once you get past his voice being annoying, he talks a lot of sense. Okay. I don't take what he says as gospel, but essentially, if inflation is 7% and rates are 3%, you are getting a 4% tax rate every single year, right? Like you're essentially getting taxed at 4% every single year because the dollar's going to get fucked, right? Like that's what's going to happen. And so you're going to see essentially it's an additional tax because they're eroding your dollar. Tax rates aren't being reduced because inflation is up. So even if your employer adjusts to inflation, it's not like they're going to give that money back to you and be like, "Oh, dude, we know, like we're gonna bump it up. We're gonna bump it up." They don't. Okay, so your real spending power decreases month by month. And if your real spending power decreases month by month, that means people aren't buying houses. That means people aren't spending extra. They're worried about gas tank. They're worried about school. They're worried about food. They're worried about energy. They're worried about gas. And they're not stimulating the economy. All right? Hussein says, where I live, 8% is not bad. Yeah, fair enough, dude. But like that's pretty shitty here. That's right, okay? So Molsey says, even if they raise rates to 6%, we're still real negative yield, okay? We're still real negative yield. That's fucked up. That is fucked. Gas is increasing 50 cents a gallon next Monday here. Right, exactly. Nibble, I don't remember where you are, but like, that's for real, okay? That is for real. That is, oh my God shit, all right? Yeah, I hate him, but I love listening to him. Just watching Russell Brand, nice. Yeah, so like, again, he's an acquired taste. And I'm not here to like shill Ben Shapiro, right? Like that's not really my point. Although he has the most reasonable takes on Bitcoin of anyone out there. Because he's like, look, if your dollar's getting deflated or is being inflated, so your spending power is decreasing month over month, it makes sense to look elsewhere. It makes sense to look at gold. It makes sense to look at silver. It makes sense to look at Bitcoin. He has a very like reasonable way of looking at it. In third world countries, it's already happened. If you listen to Raoul Pal, which you should, okay? Real Vision Crypto is free. Go sign up. RealVision.com. Real Vision Crypto is free. Go sign up. It's the best macro shit in the world for crypto. It's where I get a lot of my ideas from. So I know you guys think I'm really smart, but really I'm not. I just listen to other people, and you probably don't think I'm that smart. But my point is, listen to the people that you respect. I respect Ben Shapiro about American politics. In the Fed, I respect Raoul Pal about macro crypto. Okay, and so when you see what is potentially on the table, where if inflation runs through the roof, you have two options, and those options are both shitty. But what I respect about Jerry P, about Jerome Powell, is him being like, look, I am not going to be the person that fucks this up. Meaning that I'm not going to be the person that was unwilling to raise rates because it would hurt himself politically or the people that put him in charge, like the president, politically. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And so even though that dude kind of looks like a rat and like you kind of want to punch him when you watch him talk, which is I'm sure what you guys probably feel about me, like he's going to do what needs to be done. And so if inflation goes crazy, Jerry P is going to be like, yo, we're raising rates. And that means we're going head first into a recession. Luke Gromit on Last Tip podcast. I don't know what Last Tip is, if that's the name of it, but yeah, like go listen to it. I don't mind you guys shilling shit here if you say it's good. Okay. Nah, you look cool with Greg Drinks with. All right, wait, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. I drink scotch, so if you like scotch, I'm a good guy to hang out with. But like, that's what's on the table. So if you think we're at a critical juncture in the market, you're right. You're right. This is essentially all that matters, because if this breaks down, we're heading to that 28, 30K area. 28 to 30. And let me show you how important that is. Okay? I'll go to the index. Probably easier. This is your line of demarcation, guys. This is it. This is it. This is the index. Let me pull out the VPVR and show you how critical this will become and how much everybody will be shitting themselves. if that doesn't hold. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, look, you're not wrong. I don't mind that, right? Like that's a party line shit. Like guns are a thing in this country, they're never going away. So I don't really choose to care one way or the other on that. That's just like lip service, right? In a utopia where all of a sudden you can snap your fingers and guns go away, I'm 100% with you. But if we're doing that, we should like make cancer go away and war, and like we should all get like ponies and ride around and, you know, just do psychedelic drugs and have a good time. Like that, it's just, you know, that world doesn't exist. It will never exist. So it is what it is. So if we lose 28, your best case scenario is 20. And really, truly, there's not support till 12. There's truly not support till 12, okay? And I'm not saying this to be fucking dramatic, guys. Like, you know that's not, if you've listened to me at all, you know that's not who I am. But I sure as fuck will not be the person that didn't want to upset people, so I didn't give you my opinion, okay? Like, there's a lot of there are a lot of people who tell you what you want to hear for the purposes of gaining an audience, and I will never ever be that person. All right? I just don't want us to ever be in a situation where we didn't have this conversation, because it's for fucking real. You can make a case for putting in a fucking high or low on the weekly. You could, right? Super easily, too. Ready for this? Boom. It's pretty fucking good. It's pretty good. You could make that case. But just like with anything, if you truly lose the trend, which is kind of what's at stake where we are right now, when you lose some shit like this, if you're like, all right, there's a higher low. If you lose the higher low, that is not a 5% breakdown. That's a cataclysmic breakdown. It is a cataclysmic breakdown. And your best hope is 28 on some bullshit. After that, it's 20. After that, it's 12. 28, 20, 12. Is VPVR the same? Kind of. Yeah, so it's essentially volume, right? It's showing where people have interacted. So the point of that is, like, these are buys and sells. Volume buys and sells over here on this side. Kind of. I'm generalizing with up days and down days, but it's showing you where the most amount of people have interacted. And when all other tools elude you, just look to where the majority of people have interacted, and that's where whales probably have their largest price bases, right? So like that's down here at 12. That's going back to last cycle, okay? And it could be a generational wrong. Like, no, don't get me wrong. Like, this could be a fucking amazing opportunity to get long. But you start running into some crazy shit. Like, what is Sailor's cost right now? 29? 28? It's something like that. 28, 29, 26. I don't know, somewhere in there. So like now you have like Sailor. Yeah, 28. So like Sailor is right at this line, man. Right at this line. And so more 29 than 26. So yeah, like literally essentially where this is, 28.8, 28. So that's where Sailor's cost is. What percent stables am I? So what I have in crypto, I have deployed, but I've pulled out probably 40%. Okay. And I'm using it in gold. I'm using it in silver. I'm just using it in cash. All right. What I have I have fully deployed. I have like maybe 40 grand in USDC right now. But like what I have deployed in Cosmos, which has been mega upside the whole time. And I probably have, I don't know, 12, 14 Bitcoin. So, you know, the reason why I'm streaming at 4 o'clock on a Friday is I want you guys to pay attention. If you see some crazy shit, I don't want that, fuck off. If you see some crazy news coming out about Putin or some shit going down, like, you head on a swivel, okay? Head on a swivel. I'm not even necessarily worried about this retrace because, like, easy come, easy go. And as you can see from the VPVR, nobody's really transacted in this area. If we get a bid, we can rip that shit right back up to 41, like no problem. No problem. Okay? So this is that area where I'm super interested to see people step up. And if we don't, it's going to be a fucking dark and cold weekend and a pretty shitty year overall. Unless you're in Cosmos, where the people don't give a shit. Let's talk about Ethereum. Doesn't look any better. Yep. I literally drew that. I posted this in the Telegram yesterday when it was right here. When it was right here. I don't think Russia's taking key. You know what? Deregulated? Doctor regulated? Deregulated? Whatever. Deregulated? Like the prevailing theory on this war is like the worst possible outcome, and that's that it lasts for like 5 years. Is that they will literally be like, you can take Kiev when you kill all of us. Okay? And that's a scary fucking thought. Because at what point does it back, like people don't make shitty decisions till you're backed into a corner. And like being backed into a corner is when you start thinking about nukes. Like, okay, our economy's falling apart. The oligarchs are coming after me. Like Putin's getting assassination attempts, just like, you know, Zelensky, or I'm not saying his name right, the president of Ukraine. Like that's when crazy shit goes down. Very scary time. Because all it takes is one crazy asshole, and then we're literally potentially on the brink, man, on the brink. So be careful with that. But yeah, literally when you fail a breakout attempt, no bueno, you're going to test most recent support. It's exactly where we are on Ethereum. And so the Ethereum long is kind of even more clear. Doesn't he though? Like who's saying this? T-Money says, I mean, Putin doesn't launch them alone. Are you meaning like somebody else has to approve it as well? Yeah, I mean, we're all dead. So I guess it really doesn't matter. If somebody launches a nuke, we're all fucked. So, you know, give your family a hug and hope there's an afterlife. But I posted this in the Telegram the other day. Like when you get a failed breakout attempt, you're always going to test recent support. That's where we are right now. The most recent support, literally through last weekend, is here. End of last week, this weekend, right? Failed the breakout attempt, right back down. Mutually assured destruction. You're right. You're right. But if you think your whole country is failing, fuck you care. You've lived a good life. How old is that motherfucker? Does anybody know? He's got to be in his 60s. So, you know, fuck, man. This looks almost destined to test 2300 if it doesn't stop here. And then look where the next part is, dude. Look where we go from here. Look where we go from here. The interesting part about Cosmos really is, I'm gonna delete that. It's taken a lot of eyes away from Ethereum. We've never really had that. Ethereum's always been the thing. He's 69. All right, so fucking guy's almost 70. He's lived a good life. Whatever, blow up the whole world. So if we lose this level that we established last weekend on that crazy wick down, everybody thought the world was over, in which I was, you know, myself included, $1,800, dude. you're going to see $1,800 Ethereum. Good age end at all, 69. Nice. So you could see $1,700, $1,800 Ethereum if that breaks down back to 1,400, and then like the real dark ages, man, back to $500. Like if you see that breakdown on Bitcoin we were just talking about, like this is the equivalent of 1,400. Like right here is the equivalent of 1,400. 1,400 Ethereum, and this is the equivalent like below 500. Okay. So just head on a swivel. The only reason I'm doing this right now, guys, is like, you know, what's at stake? Oh, thanks for the terror stream, Jared. Well, could be worse. You got a little bit of relative strength on Ethereum today, which I don't really understand at all. That doesn't make sense. Somebody walk me through what the fuck's going on there. Also, like, since I started streaming, we're down like another fucking $1,000, so. No, come on. That can't be real. Is it? No. He's born on October 7th. Don't you tease me. Don't you tease me. Now, the good news is, you know, if you're interested, there's $40 Juno. Haven't seen that in a while. Not really. So I think like the most logical stopping point is this area here. 0.059 to 0.06 on Ethereum if you get a breakdown, and if not that, then we're gonna test the way bottom, like way down here, 0.054, 0.055. Everybody's buying the MRI scam. I don't even know what that is. So yeah, I trust you. I trust you. The best thing we have going for us, guys, like no joke. This is your favorite of the stream jams? Nice. You got your first ad ever? Ugh, sorry. Fucking hate ads. As soon as there's a better alternative to Twitch, I'm out of here. Enjoy the jam. What is it? Fuck. This is Up and Down by Toby Tranter. No idea. I told you it would. Good grief, BTC wrecking. So the most bullish thing that we have right now in like any tradable anything is this, okay? There's a bull div on the daily on the S&P 500, and this is pretty common. Like what the S&P is doing right now is pretty common. When you get this signal, it kind of will run up and then form a right shoulder, which it has not given that up yet. So that's some positive news. I've pretty much just been doom streaming the whole time. VPN is the solution. I don't get them in South America. Good to know. So if you guys watch me on VPN and you change your location to South America, good. Look at ads. Your sub though too has, so I don't know. Be right back changing. Yeah, let's see. Let's try it out. So if we get this right shoulder, and a lot of you don't know what I'm talking about, but essentially, like that's what's going on here. You get this range recapture, come over here, sort of create a higher low. You could like see this test back in like 4,500 S&P, which is what we need to have happen. It's honestly like when I look at everything right now. Let's do a real quick run through. Bitcoin looks like a bag of dicks. Ethereum, another bag of dicks. ETH BTC, real bad. ES, not so bad. Not so bad. Not so bad. And that's good. That's good. S&P are risk assets, guys. Remember what the S&P actually is. People really don't understand what the S&P 500 is. Who knows what it actually is? Let's see in the chat. There's like 100 people watching right now. Bongo GT coming in with some alpha. If you Google video ad block for Twitch, there's an extension that works great compared to ad block or uBlock. All right, there you go. I do not give a fuck if you guys block these ads. I try to turn them off. They don't let you. Potato Lord says, yeah, okay. So collection of America's biggest 500 companies. First off, not America. It's worldwide. You can also subscribe. That works too. Appreciate you. Anything that I get in terms of money-wise, I try to put back in. Standard & Poor Index traded become poor. That's one take on it. But has had it right. It's essentially the highest beta companies that are like the 500 largest. So just because you're in the top 500 doesn't mean that you're automatically going to trade that way. You have to like have the most volatility. It's what the beta, high beta means, meaning that like when there's price movements, the 500 largest companies that move the most essentially have the largest swings, is what the S&P 500 is. So the fact that there is volatility is good, and that the S&P is trying to like put in a right shoulder, very good things. Okay, that what I see right now makes me think that we might get that long entry on Bitcoin and actually make some money. And you just saw a little bit of demand come in. We hit to 38.5. I'm looking at my chart, one of my 6 screens over there, and we actually got a little bit of demand. So like that's a good start. It's a good start. So I don't mind this. Let's look at the NQ. All right. Looks less good. Looks less good. Again, the NQ is the NASDAQ Futures Index. This is some pretty hardcore fucking selling. I mean, if you have a trigger, go for it, dude. It's not. It's not just purely by market cap. It's not just purely by market cap. It's a common misconception. Common misconception. So, not bad. NQ, not as good as the S&P. Same thing with the Russell. All right, so Nibbler just asked a really good question. By the way, guys, if you have questions, let me know. I'm really not planning on talking. I'm not going to go into like deep crypto. I might talk about like Solana and like Luna and Atom and AVAX because like those have been doing pretty well. But if you have questions, drop them out. Yeah, that's the other thing too. It takes like a quarter or two for someone to get in. Like Elon used to bitch a bunch about Tesla not being included because they should have been. And it took them like a year to still get included, even though they were well in that area of the largest companies with the most volatility, and they were just being dicks about it. So sorry, the Russell 2000, low level consolidation. Dow Jones looks like shit. Looks like shit. Yeah, star farming, not bad. And here's why we're having this move today. Okay. See this? This happened today. Let me pull my fucking indicator out of here so you're not like, what the fuck is this guy looking at? But we got a gap up and a rip on DXY today. A gap up and a rip on DXY, which if you follow Raoul Paul, he did a video. It's a free video like a year ago on the dollar, on what was happening with the dollar and the dollar's eventual decline. It was kind of his bull thesis for Bitcoin. The interesting thing about that was, yes, he said the dollar's a piece of shit, and it is. Okay. However, it's the best smelling piece of shit of all currency that's out there. Sorry for you Euros or the people in the UK, right? Like it just is. And so what happens with the dollar is like like somebody said earlier that third world countries are already seeing it. 20% inflation, 22% inflation, even some second world countries, 22% inflation. That's what happens, okay? So their dollars start to erode, and where do they flow to? It's the best piece of shit. They flow into the USD, into the dollar. And so what he was saying was when the dollar deflates, or inflates rather, America kind of gets propped up by the world because other countries will come in and start buying the dollar, which is what's happening right now. Even though we have crazy inflation and other bullshit going on, you see the dollar improving. This could also be interpreted as people forecasting what's about to happen next week, Thursday, with inflation, saying, we know it's going to be fucking high, which means they're going to raise rates. If you're raising rates, that means the strength of the dollar goes up. It crushes our economy. It crushes our economy. It crushes our economy. Recession, possibly depression. However, the dollar could strengthen, which is what happens. So when you see smaller countries, when you see wars, when you see shit going on, the dollar gets pumped. And so essentially what Rao said was the dollar implodes not like this. It actually is like this and then the breakdown. So everything else falls apart first. The dollar collapses last. Go look at it, dude. It's like an hour-long video on the dollar. It is the best shit you could watch. on what could potentially happen with the United States dollar. I'll try to post it in the Telegram. If you guys aren't in the Telegram, well, that's your loss. But I can't find it right now. It's a free video. I'll try to post it when I can. Join the Telegram. I think it's actually in Twitch. Like you can click and join from the Twitch homepage, and I'll post it in there. But so that's what we're seeing. We saw this breakout. There isn't really, I mean, we're kind of in a resistance here, but it looks like we could even go even further. It looks like if I was really, really, truly looking for a place for it to stop, it's almost back to 100, okay? It's also the top side of this channel, which would make sense. So that's what's fucked up. The fact that it's ripping right now makes me think that people who have early access to those inflation numbers, because just so you know, guys, they don't compile those the night before, are going, fuck, it's bad, and they're going to raise rates. If Jared was my school teacher / professor for finance and economics, that'd be fucking lit. He'd be the best in favor for sure. Like that's what I'm trying to do with my now like 4 times delayed class, delayed by me having COVID, delayed by some other issues, is just try to put shit out there that's easy to understand, because this shit is complex and I try to break it down as best I can. Not even citing myself, but it's like, go listen to this dude. If you get a different conclusion, come let me know. But like, yeah, so that's what happens when economies and world currencies start to fail. Dollar gets a pump before it collapses. It's what we're seeing right now. So really strong dollar is good for America, but if we can't get inflation under control, guys, we are fucked. Like there's no way we get out of that without fucking our economy. Just so you know, I know a lot of you are not American. Our recession is your recession. Sorry. Our depression is your depression. So, what does that mean for crypto? I never even really got around to that earlier. There is a way you could say that Bitcoin catches a bid that it's never seen before. Like theoretically, if your currency is failing, you really have one option, it's the US dollar, but Bitcoin's also an option. And you're starting to see that a little bit right now. You're starting to see a little bit more money moving into Bitcoin that you haven't seen before. However, I went on Kaz's stream not that long ago and very publicly talked shit about people who trade Bitcoin not believing in Bitcoin, because this should be the time where Bitcoin has billions of dollars coming into it and it's not. So I do not think we are a mature enough asset yet for it to actually make a difference. Team Money says slowly at first and all at once. Maybe, okay, but what's the then all at once event, okay? Because it's not a nuke. We're all dead in that situation. And so what's near that level that makes it all at once? The fucking euro failing? Because we're fucked then too. In Australia, homeowners are way overextended. If your rates climb, ours follow like they normally do, and we melt down. That's 100% correct, guys. That, look, so I was talking about this. Yeah, countries adapting. Switzerland now could be it, maybe. Switzerland getting behind Bitcoin could be interesting. So T, by the way, T's making exactly what I said about Rao ring true. Lynn Alden had a tweet today saying the US dollar strength being seen right now as mostly euro weakness. Here's the thing about the dollar, guys, and BAP, BTC BAP, my boy, who came on like about a month ago. I need to have him on again soon. Made this point that I didn't really realize about the dollar. The DXY is an index fund of the dollar against other currencies. So it's not necessarily that the dollar's going up, it's just going up relative to everything else, which is kind of making the point that I was just saying, that other countries get fucked first, the dollar improves relative to it prior to breaking down, right? Does that make sense? So T, good ad. All right. But yes, like that's exactly the situation we're looking at right now. Yeah, but Nibbler, there's shit outside of that control. It's not, so when I say EU, I don't mean like the organization, I mean the currency. Because if you're in this situation, you really can't have a weak currency. And quite frankly, war helps, okay? War fucking helps. It does. Shady to say, but it's true. So, you know, quite frankly, it's probably the reason why Putin did this. Was, while Putin's a psychopath, He's not dumb. Okay? He's not dumb. You can see the writing on the wall. As far as I know, the European Central Bank has very little room to raise rates for the euro, so it will keep losing value against the USD. Exactly right. Team Money, great point. Start war, close stock market. Yeah, dude. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. I don't think you are, but I love where your head's at. Okay? So, head on a swivel. If you're asking my honest opinion, and look, it's right here. Euro falls versus major currencies, dollar jumps, Ukraine conflict intensifies. It's essentially saying, hey, Raoul Paul was right a fucking year ago. Okay? The dollar improves when everybody else falls apart. That's exactly what's happening. Right? If you're asking me what you should be doing right now, going to fiat's not a terrible idea. And then the last two things that we really should be looking at and haven't yet. Look at this shit, man. God damn. Get the fuck out of here. Look at gold. Look at gold. Oh my God. Look at it. The dollar or gold. I wish we were at a point. I know I'm going to silver next. I wish we were at a point. No, it's not spot price. Spot price is like $2,000. Gold is the Spider Trust, right? Oh yeah, Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff's going to be insufferable. I already muted him on Twitter just to make sure I don't see it and get pissed off. Okay. JP, that guy, yes. This is a 12-year cup with handle. It's a 12-year cup with handle. That's breaking out. It's a 12-year cup with handle that's breaking out. I said on my stream like 2 weeks ago that I'd moved my entire 401k. It's Raoul, R-A-O-U-L, Pau, P-A-U, Raoul Pau. But go to Real Vision, at Real Vision. That's the guy. Target, sir, dude. The way that I called the top, I called cake almost to the dollar before it broke out was by doing this. Yeah. Essentially, minimum 281. Minimum. Yeah, I moved my 401k to gold. So I talked about the other day that my 401k, what I have left, I moved essentially 100% into this a couple weeks ago. Not exactly this product, but you know, whatever Fidelity's version of that is. No, but it's smart. It's smart. You can buy physical. Like, I just don't want to. Like, I don't want to hold that shit. I don't want to hold that shit. Okay, and yeah, silver's doing the same thing, man. Silver's in a position where I mean, silver probably doubles. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Fuck, what is it? Just PA? That works. Woo! Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, and this is all confirming what we essentially have been talking about. So yeah, T says last time gold broke out, we did a 2x over 3 years. Still boring, but good for store value. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, it doesn't feel great when you're doing it, but you're like, you know, I mean, fuck. I did 2x over 3 years when the remainder of the market did a negative 40%. Like, that's pretty fucking good. Nice. Yeah, I don't really fuck around with this shit for crypto. But looks nice. Looks nice. By the way, just like when we thought we were going to get the enormous rip last time in Atom was right before the fucking November high. So like, it's pretty funny to me that we're getting it again. That like Atom is trying to do like really, really good shit and just gonna get fucked again. Right, you know, right at the buzzer, man. Sorry. Pretty tough. Luna looks good though. Yeah, 39.60. Not bad. Not a bad time. Yeah, Bitcoin's trying right now. All right, let's see. Yeah, not bad. I mean, that's the kind of down bar you needed to have that stuff happen. So, you know, this is just like so purely distribution. Wheat. What's the ticker on here? I don't really trade commodities like that, so. No. Is it? No, fuck it was. Yikes, dude. Okay, so I think we all kind of get it, right? No. I mean, like, it's still in that, I mean, it had that great little jump up. It hasn't given it up yet. Like, the signal's still here. So essentially what I think about Solana is if the S&P 500 can hold that same signal, if the S&P 500 can hold that same signal, it'll be fine. And it could end up going again. But, you know, it just, we needed the market to move sideways and it's not. On ICE, like ICE the crypto? Yeah, it looks like shit. Neat. Yikes. All right, I got like 5 minutes left, guys, and I gotta go. End of the day Friday. I can't just like run that shit over. If you have any questions, now's the time, or else we're gonna rip. But like, I think hopefully this was pretty clear. Team Money's right. There is a little bit of a bid coming in for Bitcoin, and I'm just gonna leave this up here for you guys to look at. Right? This is kind of the line of demarcation for me. Okay. Yes, we can break down below and a reclaim's worth a long. If we get a rip down below, a reclaim's worth a long, but like your invalidation is pretty clear because the free fall is not fun. Okay. The free fall is not fun. So don't be that person who's too proud to take a stop. If you want to play this, you better be ready to get knocked out. Okay. Or else you're fucked. We are so liable to news headlines right now that it is just not worth it. Join the Telegram if you haven't already. We have some really good people in there. If you have questions throughout, you know, the weekend or something, tag me. I'm happy to answer anything along the way. But we carried like 70, 80, 90 people for this entire stream. So appreciate you guys all tuning in. Pretty sweet. For Rao, I don't. Yeah, Juno, I'm not worried about, dude. Like literally, I'm not worried about. The biggest issue for Juno is fucking, is the whale. And it looks like the whale isn't doing anything. So, you know, like these cells, if we just move side, so it's 39.60 right now. If we just move sideways, if Bitcoin catches a bid, it'll be at $45 tomorrow. So, you know, Juno's kind of a buy the dip until otherwise. Yeah. Yeah, T, you got it. JP, question. Yeah, dude, that was seriously the most fun I've had in a long time. Seriously, the most fun I've had in a long, long time was watching the whale wall yesterday. Why do I like Neta so much? It's a low cap BTC on Juno. Anything else? Yeah, I mean, I've just read a lot of like what they're considering doing with it. And if you just read about the possibilities, and like, here's the thing, core team 1, same guys that created Juno are behind Neta. So like, I'm betting on the team as much as anything. And I've read some ideas about what could be done with Neta. And I think it's more likely that Neta goes to 20 grand than it is to go like significantly below where we are now. So it's just a very, very high upside play with a low invalidation, right? Like that's all. My name is plus expected value, okay? My name is plus expected value. It is a plus EV trade to buy Neta. Because the upside benefit outweighs the downside risk. It's an asynchronous bet. That's what plus expected value is. So as more details come out, as I'm allowed to give out more details, I will, but the information's out there. You just have to go read, all right? So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to like Neta. And by the way, anybody who posts in my Telegram room what I'm doing with my positions is full of shit, okay? So just know that. The only person who talks about my positions is me, and don't believe anything else. Not really, Mark. That's the blessing and the curse of on-chain trading, buddy. Not really. That's what sucks. That's why I haven't slept well for 2.5 years or 3 years. Yeah. No, this is good, guys. I appreciate it. I gotta run. Both, man. I mean, Juno's gonna be a freight train. When the downs on Juno, okay, the downside on Juno is gonna be better than the entire market. And then the upside is going to return just as fast. The problem is people don't understand what Neta does yet. So that's why it's a discount buy here. Yeah, I always drop the direct. Don't worry, start from the bottom over here. I got you. So it's just worth it right now. To take a look at Neta, but like Juno, the dips are going to be shallow, the rips are going to be great, and it's going to move opposite the entire market. Yeah, it might. It might, as long as that whale doesn't fuck us. 40 seconds left. Any last questions, guys? Appreciate y'all hanging out with me on a Friday. This was fun. That's the level 3 emoji. Yeah, you guys too. Enjoy your weekend. Hang out in the chat. I'll see you guys. Your boy, be safe. I'll try. You too, man. Be good. Don't be dumb. The point of crypto is survive. Just like the NCAA tournament. Survive in advance, y'all. Survive in advance. All you're trying to do. Survive in advance.